Hello students. Today we will discuss about William Butler Yeats, who is known as W.B. Yeats. He was born in 1865 and died in 1939. It stands as a turning point between the Victorian period and modernism, the conflicting currents of which affected his poetry. He was born in Dublin. His father John was a lawyer but an artist at heart, and he left his law practice to become a portrait painter. His mother was Susan Pollexfen, whose family had prosperous business interest in mining and shipbuilding in Sligo on Ireland's northwest coast. Yeats attended high school in both London and Dublin, but he spent his summers in the west of Ireland in the family summer house at Connaught. His college was 2 years. He spent 2 years in college, 1883 to 1885, at Dublin Metropolitan School of Arts. Now it is known as National College of Art and Design. An obvious choice for a young man from one of Ireland's famously artistic families. Yeats' family moved to London when he was 2, and he lived there until he was 16. His mother's traditional Irish songs and stories and holiday visits to Sligo kept the connection to Ireland strong. The young Yeats was very much part of the Fin de Sicily in London. It's an art movement. At the same time, he was active in societies that attempted an Irish literary revival. His first collection of poetry, being published in 1889, named as The Wandering of Oisin, and other poems already showed concerns that were to remain central to his writing: Ireland, spiritualism, and love. His earliest books draw on the Romantics and pre-Raphaelite ideals and mythologies as Celtic twilight. However, increased involvement with nationalist politics was to have a significant impact on his poetic style. His diction grew plainer, the syntax tighter, and the verse structure, whilst retaining their traditional form, more muscular. But in his earlier period, his dramatic production outweighed his poetry, but both in bulk and in import. Together with Lady Georgette, he founded the Irish Theatre, which was to become the Abbey Theatre, and served as its chief playwright until the movement was joined by John Synge. His plays usually treat Irish legends. They also reflect his fascination with mysticism and spiritualism. The Countess Kathleen, it was published in 1892. The Land of Heart Desire in 1894. Kathleen Ni Howlian in 1902. The King's Threshold in 1904. And Diade in 1907 are among the best known. After 1910, Yeats' dramatic art took a sharp turn toward a highly poetical, static, and historic style. His later plays were written for a small audience. They experiment with mass, dance, and music, and was profoundly influenced by the Japanese No plays. His work as a playwright, though less successful than his poetry, occupied much of his energy throughout his life. He not only wrote but helped to produce the plays of others. J.M. Synge and later C.N. Casey was the best of the playwrights whose work Yeats promoted. With the tireless help from his friend Lady Augusta Georgette, he founded the Irish Literary Theatre, which became the Abbey Theatre in 1904 and which thrives to this day. But Yeats soon recognized that poetry was his true calling. He established himself as a man of letters, and for the next 50 plus years of his life, he worked tirelessly as a poet, playwright, and literary critic. 3 themes dominate his work: his determination to use his gift in the interest of revitalizing Irish culture, his personal search for spiritual identity, and his unrequited love for Maud Gonye. Maud was the daughter of a British Army officer, but raised in Ireland. She adopted the cause of Irish independence and became a leading spokesperson for the movement. From the day they met in 1889, she and Yeats were lifelong friends. Some year later, she married John McBride, a major in the Irish Republican Army. Even after Yeats married in 1921 and had his own family, his references in his poetry, his unrequited love for Maud among the poems we antholizes here. Maud appears in No Second Troy in Easter 1916 and A Prayer for My Daughter. His poetry, especially the volumes of The Wild Swans at Cooley in 1919, Michel Roberts and the Dancer in 1921, The Tower in 1928, The Winding Stair and Other Poems in 1933, and Last Poems and Plays in 1940, made him one of the outstanding and most influential 20th century poets writing in English. His recurrent theme are the contrast of art and life, mask, cyclical theories of life, the symbol of the winding stairs, and the ideal of beauty and ceremony, contrasting with the hubbub of modern life. The Second Coming, Leda and the Swan, among his school children, Sailing to Byzantium, and Byzantium touch on Yeats' interest in discovering and promoting a system of spiritual enlightenment, which would explain the cycles of history, death, and reincarnation, and the relationship of the mind and body to the spirit. He continued to produce astonishing poetry. His last poems, represented here by the circus animals' desertion, reveal a diminished interest in the search for a utopian vision of spiritual enlightenment that Byzantium represented for him. For much of his life, Yeats was drawn to and took an active role in mystical and occult societies such as the Order of the Golden Dawn. His wife, George, claimed the gift of automatic writing, the ability to write down information the spirit world dictated to her. And Yeats would claim that much of his philosophical work, Vision, published in 1926, was based upon information he acquired from the spirit world, which spoke to him through George. Yeats also used his work to promote the cause of Irish independence, his contribution being a determined effort to forge a distinctly Irish culture, especially literature. As the years went by, Yeats' fame and status as Ireland's leading man of letters grew. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923, and he became a senator in the Irish Free State after Ireland won conditional independence from Great Britain. Although a convinced patriot, Yeats deplored the hatred and the bigotry of the nationalist movement, and his poetry is full of moving protest against it. Yeats is one of the few writers whose greatest work were written after the award of the Nobel Prize, whereas he received the few writers whose greatest work was received the prize chiefly for his dramatic work. His significance today rests on his lyric achievement. Thank you.